So today we will be discussing the Jeep camera lineup within Brandmotion. All right, so quick agenda for today. We're going to review the product category. We're going to discuss the differences between our Jeep cameras designed for factory radios and Jeep cameras designed for aftermarket displays. How to pick the right camera for you. We'll touch briefly on some resources and tools you have available to you to find the right part within Brandmotion, and then we'll wrap things up. So it should be a pretty brief call today. Let's get right into it. Today on the call, my name is Adam DeGroat. I'm an account manager here at Brandmotion. I'm joined also with Zach Seidel, the technical sales and support manager here at Brandmotion. So we are a part of the Brandmotion account relationship team. You'll also work with our returns department, tech support, accounting, product development, the warehouse area, and our wire harness builders. We do also have another part of the business called Connected Vehicles that does some autonomous work. If you'd like to learn more, check out our website about Brandmotion, and you can learn more all about the company. Diving right into it, within the Jeep category, we have 9 products specific to the Jeep Wrangler JK, model years 2007 to 2018, and we have 1 product for the Jeep Wrangler JL, model year 2018 to current or 2020. So really what we're going to do is we're going to break down the differences in these several different part numbers, how to choose the best one for you, and break down the specifics of each camera. So first things first, we do have 2 fixed bracket CMOS cameras, part number 9002-8817 and 9002-8818. Both feature a CMOS camera and a fixed bracket, which is designed for factory wheels. The easiest way to describe the type of bracket you'll need within a Jeep is the position of opening. So we use, for reference, the time of a clock. So the 12 o'clock position open would require a fixed bracket. Now, most factory wheels on the JK and the JL do have that 12 o'clock slot open, and they would use a fixed bracket. So the 8817 or any of our Jeep cameras that end in a 7 will include a flash module. The 9002-8818 or any Jeep camera that ends in an 8 would not include a flash module. So what is a flash module? A flash module is what flashes your factory screen to allow a new backup camera to be displayed. As you can see here on the left, there's a little black device. That's actually a flash module right there. One important note about that is after you use it, it's not needed again unless you need to reflash your screen. Zach, do you want to touch on a little bit on the scenarios of why you need to keep it?
So the interface module does VIN lock as well, okay? So once you use it on one vehicle, you're not going to be able to take that from one vehicle to another vehicle. Instances that we see in tech support why customers need to reflash their vehicle is anytime you take it into the dealership and they do anything with the ECU or they change out your radio, more than likely you're going to have to plug that module back in. There is a couple of different models of those modules out that are included in any of the kits that do end in 7, as Adam did say. Very simply, some of them honk, some of them don't honk, some of them have LEDs, some of them do not have LEDs. So if you guys have any questions about the flash module process, we've included quite a bit of information on our website, as well as you can feel free to give us a call into tech support at 734-619-1250, option number 2. We'll be able to walk you through over the phone exactly with what you've got going on there. But a very important distinction for the flash module is you're not flashing the camera. So if you think about it this way, in this 8817 kit, there's 2 different processes. You've got the flashing of the radio with the flash module, and then the camera installation. So when you get a confirmed flash on the radio, what your radio will show if there's no camera hooked up is it will, when you go into reverse, it'll display at the top of the screen, it'll say check your surroundings, and you'll see a black screen. Okay, that does mean the flash module has worked properly, in which case you need to go back in and verify that you do have a good video signal going into the back of the radio.
Mm-hmm. So. Thank you, Zach. One last thing, something we do recommend after you do use the flash module, go ahead and put it in your glove box, store it somewhere in your garage, somewhere that you'll remember where it is, and you'll be able to save it just in case you need it in the future. I would say 99% of people, after they flash their screen, don't use it again. but just on that off chance that you will need it again, we do recommend just to hang on to it. So just to do a quick recap, this is probably our most basic Jeep camera. It has a fixed bracket, a CMOS camera, kind of a generic camera brand. So if someone looking for value on a factory wheel, this is a great option. Again, one last time, ending in a 7 means it's for a factory screen. Ending in an 8 means it's for an aftermarket screen. So beyond the fixed bracket CMOS camera, we also have a fixed bracket Panasonic OEM CCD camera, which is quite a mouthful. Two part numbers is 9002-8837 and 9002-8838. As we just saw on the previous slide, the 8837, because it is ending in a 7, is designated for a factory screen, while the aftermarket screen part number is the 9002-8838. You can see the difference in the two kit pictures. The one on the left, the 37, is including a flash module, while the one on the right excludes the flash module. So both of these are OEM sourced CCD Panasonic cameras, extremely high quality, extremely high durability. You can see there is a difference in connector off of the camera pigtail and the camera chassis harness. Both of these will terminate in an RCA, just like the previous camera, and both include a RCA jumper. The 8837 would require the jumper, and the 8838 is just there if you do need the jumper to go into the factory screen.
Don't forget about that one on the parking grid lines as well.
Okay, and then Zach's going to do a little bit discussion
real
on
quick,
the
guys.
grid lines.
Just for a couple of those people that are going to have the questions of why would I go with this camera over the 8817 if you're sticking with that fixed bracket style. Exactly what Adam said. It's a very high quality camera. It's got a very, very nice weatherproof weather pack connector. Very important though on the Panasonic cameras. Okay, the image cannot be mirrored, nor can you have any grid lines, okay? So in the 8837, if you order this camera, there's no way for you to enable grid lines on that factory screen. On the 8838, if it's going into an aftermarket display, you can add grid lines if that is a function of your aftermarket display, which quite a few aftermarket radios nowadays do have that ability. Okay, the 8817 and 18 both will come with standard grid lines, and I believe that one also does not have the ability to mirror the image anymore whatsoever. So again, that is the biggest Clevite with the Panasonic cameras, is that you cannot have grid lines with these. Okay, so flipping it back to Adam.
Great point, Zach. So thank you for that. Just to reiterate one more time, 8817 and 37, 8818 and 38 are going to be very similar. Some of the differences are going to be the 8817 and 18 can have parking grid lines as a function of the camera, while the 8837 38 cannot have parking grid lines as a function of the camera. The 8837 and 38 are also a name brand, Panasonic. A lot of people do gravitate towards that brand when they do hear the name. It holds a lot of buying power that we found through market research and just our own anecdotal data. It's an extremely high-performing camera, and if someone is interested in the highest quality possible, I would recommend the Panasonic camera. Moving on, these are our top sellers. This is sort of the Brandmotion brand, if you will. These are adjustable bracket CMOS cameras. So it's going to be a similar camera to what you see in the 8817 and 18, except it's going to be on a different bracket. Where that 17 and 18 is a fixed bracket for factory wheels, this is an adjustable bracket which can be used on aftermarket or factory wheels. So if we reference back to what I said earlier about the position on a clock, in the fixed bracket scenario, you would need that 12 o'clock position open. With an aftermarket wheel, usually that 12 o'clock position is taken up by a spoke of the tire or the wheel, and the camera head will need to adjust side to side to be able to see beyond the wheel. So this adjustable head allows you to go left or right, lock into that position, and keep the camera in place. So both feature a CMOS camera. These also have an adjustable bracket. The 8847 will include the flash module for a factory screen, while the 8848 will be just plug and play for an aftermarket screen. Just want to reiterate, you can use the 8848 on a factory screen, but it would require a dealer flash. So if you have a good relationship with a dealer near you, it might make more sense to go with an 8848 or a Jeep camera ending in 8 if they're able to give you a good price on a flash for the screen. If you don't have the relationship or you'd like to do the flash yourself, we always recommend to get the 8847 or a model ending in 7. Moving on, we do have 2 infrared camera systems. These infrared cameras are CMD3 cameras, so they have great night vision. Similar to what we've seen before, there's a model ending in 7, which includes the flash module for a factory screen, and a model ending in 8, which is designed for an aftermarket screen. This is a pretty big difference at nighttime driving. I'll actually go to our website to show you guys a sample picture of the difference. A lot of people say, well, how big of a difference does it make when you're using an infrared camera at night? And this picture does a great job illustrating that. So here we have the same Jeep. We swapped out 2 different cameras. One of our standard cameras up at the top in a completely dark installation garage, an infrared camera at the bottom in a completely dark installation garage. So the only variable in these 2 pictures is the camera type. The camera on the bottom is our infrared camera, while the camera on the top is one of our CMOS cameras. So you can see the drastic difference in nighttime. Now, a lot of people, refuse to drive at nighttime or do very little driving at nighttime. So infrared may not be the right option for them. But if someone comes to you saying, I need to see better at night, especially in my Jeep when I'm doing nighttime trail riding, whatever it may be, the infrared camera is a great option for that. So beyond the 2 infrared cameras, the last we'll touch on today is the full view mirror lineup. So these are a little bit different. While the cameras we had touched on before are going to be displayed either on a factory screen or an aftermarket screen, these 2 model numbers in FVMR 8866 and FVMR 8876 would be a complete solution. The camera image would be displayed on the display mirror. There's 2 cameras in this. The back camera, which you see all the way to the right on the Jeep camera, and a camera in the front of the mirror fully integrated into the mirror. So these are ultra high performance Sony CCD cameras displayed on a Ultra HD screen, 1080p. The FVMR 8866 is designed for the Jeep Wrangler JK 2007 to 2018, while the FVMR 8876, not officially launched yet, but coming soon, is designed for the 2018 to 2020 Wrangler JL. So what are these good for? Why would someone choose a full view mirror product over our traditional Jeep cameras? If someone's really focused in on recording their trail ridings, taking pictures, or they just want the best possible camera image that Brandmotion has available, this is a great product to go with. It's our only camera that uses 1080p HD. Most other cameras are still capped at around 720. So if someone's looking for the best possible picture or any recording capabilities, this is the product to go with. So along those lines, how do you pick the right camera for your customer? It's important when deciding which Brandmotion camera to use to just ask some qualifying questions. The 2 most important ones are going to be, do you want to display this on a factory screen or an aftermarket screen? And then second, do you have factory or aftermarket wheels? So a follow-up question you could ask with the wheel as well is, do you plan on changing these wheels in the future? Because while they may have factory wheels currently, they could have plans for in the future to switch over to an aftermarket wheel. So even if they have any inkling or a hope of switching over to an aftermarket wheel, we'd always recommend going with an adjustable bracket, because you can keep it in that 12 o'clock position, but as they change the tires, you can then adjust it side to side as needed. So just to reiterate a couple questions to ask to your customer, one, first and foremost, what does your customer value? Do you want nighttime vision? Do you want the highest quality camera or the best name brand available? Are you looking for the best value, the clearest picture, the ability to record or take pictures on a trail? These are all important questions to ask and will hopefully help you determine what the best Jeep camera part number is for you. As I mentioned, another great question is, do you have factory or aftermarket wheels? Do you plan on changing in the future? Because this would, of course, determine if you're going to use an adjustable or fixed Jeep camera bracket. Also, you could say, do you have a factory or aftermarket screen? Do you need a flash module? Definitely an important point to reiterate. A lot of times people will assume a factory screen is actually aftermarket or vice versa. So there's a couple different qualifying questions we have that you can use to determine if it is truly a factory screen. Most all factory screens in a Jeep Wrangler JK are going to be 6.1 inches corner to corner. So that's an easy qualifying question to ask. And then lastly, do you want the ability to record or take pictures in the front or rear camera? If yes, that's an easy decision. You go with a full view mirror lineup. So we have lots more questions. If you'd like to get a better idea on how to communicate the value of these parts or how to determine what the best part is for your customer, feel free to reach out to us. You'll see some contact information at the end, and we can help you decide on those qualifying questions to ask. So to wrap things up, we just want to touch on some of the resources and tools you guys have available to you. I've touched on this on the past couple Tech Talks, so I won't spend too much time going over it. But essentially, we do have a vehicle configurator on our website. If you just click up at the top, search by vehicle, follow these steps, you'll be able to find what part or what product category you're looking for. The example I'll use is a Jeep camera. You would say, I'm looking for a Jeep 2016 Wrangler, Sahara, or whatever it may be. Pick a color, which is non-essential. A category would be your backup camera, vehicle specific, and then boom, it would give you a couple part numbers to choose from. Another way to find out some part numbers is use our application guide. You can find that on our website or click the link on this presentation and then follow these instructions. You just use the search function on your keyboard to find the part number or the vehicle you're looking for. Lastly, as I did reference today, the Brandmotion website is extremely helpful to use. There's tons of pictures. The installation instructions can be downloaded directly from there. We'll also highlight the features and compatibility, which is extremely important, especially when deciding which Jeep camera, because the features do vary pretty significantly from model to model. So it's best to find which feature set fits you and your customers best. So just want to say thank you guys for joining. Again, one more time, my name is Adam DeGroat, account manager here at Brandmotion. You can reach me by calling into Brandmotion and dialing 708. Zach, you want to give us a wrap up here too?
Yep, absolutely. So again, my name's Zach Seidel. I'm the technical sales and support manager here. So I'll be one of the two guys that you're going to be talking to if you're ever calling into technical support for any questions. My email address is directly on the screen right now, as well as my direct extension is 749. Alternatively, you can always dial option 2 when you first call in for technical support. We can answer any of the technical questions that you guys have. And Adam really kind of hit it on the head really on a couple of the things that we always talk about. If for some reason you're in a couple of different instances, for example, where you order, for example, an 8848, but you need the flash module, you don't need to turn around and go back and order an 8847. You can actually buy the flash module separate as a 9002-6115 V2. Okay. Other instances as well. A good point that Adam had brought up a couple of different times was parking grid lines. Okay. They're coming standard on your 17 and 18 series, your 47 and 48 series. Okay. They cannot be removed on our newer models. They cannot be removed from those 4 part numbers. If you want the option, go with the 57 and 58. That's going to be the one that's going to give you the ability to choose if you want them or not, where the Panasonic is always a hard no. Instances where you would sell a night vision camera, for example, which would be the 57 or 58 series, would be as if your customer is exactly as Adam said, if they're big into off-roading. Or what I've also found is if you're in a rural setting where there's total zero light situations, where this isn't going to be for your suburban crawlers, because they're not going to get the benefit of the additional camera. Additionally, as well, with the adjustability of the 4.7 and 4.8, as well as the 5.7 and 5.8, and alternatively the 88, 66, and 76, they all come with 2 different length brackets. We've tested and they can accommodate views through, I want to say it's a 12.5-inch wide tire, which would be your standard Jeeper that's running like a 37 to a 39-inch tire. They're going to be able to see through that no problem. It can be clocked upwards. It can be clocked upside down. There are so many different options in that regard. And then lastly, one other point I want to bring up, if you're kind of going back and forth where does the customer need just a backup camera, say like a 40 series or a 50 series, or do they want to go with the full view mirror? A huge benefit of the 8866 and the 8876 when it eventually launches is that the FEMR is a live streaming mirror. So that means it's not only going to come on when it's in reverse, the entire time while you're driving, you're going to completely eliminate all the blind spots that these Jeeps are notorious for having, including the spare tire, including the C-pillars in the back. So that's another really good question to ask your customer to say, hey, is this something that you need? Do you want to add more functionality, more visibility just to your everyday driving experience, not only in reverse? So if you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out to me and Adam. we would be more than welcome, or we welcome you to give us a call. We'll walk through the whole lineup with you guys one more time if you need to. And every time you've got a customer where you're kind of going back and forth, do I need a 17? Do I need a 47? Give us a call. It's a quick 2 or 3 qualifying questions, and we can say definitively, you will need this product number, and we can get you going right from there. Okay, so I'm going to turn back over to Adam to finish up.
All right, thank you, Zach, and thank you all for tuning in. Join us again next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, and we'll go through another Tech Talk. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll cut it here.